Hey, it's Friday, April 14th, 2017. I'm Jeff Tracy, and welcome to my blog. So today's Good Friday. Happy Good Friday. I don't usually like to talk about religion, but given the day, it's maybe a good time to at least kind of kick around some ideas and some thoughts that I've been having and that Stacey and I've been having, and also some of the conversations we've had with some of our friends, right, about religion. And I don't really like to talk about it, that and politics, simply because generally speaking, you can't change people's minds, right? There's study after study that suggests people just kind of reinforce, they listen to the facts or listen to the opinions that reinforce their beliefs, right? It's the reason Fox News exists, the reason MSNBC exists, is because people just listen to those, and you can't really change people's minds about those things, right? You can present them with all the facts in the world, but all they'll do is say those are fake facts, or it's fake news, or whatever it is, and they just kind of dismiss it and they believe what they want. So talking about religion doesn't do a whole lot. But today, so I don't really want to talk about religion in of itself, right, or try to convince you to believe one way or the other. But kind of what we've been kicking around is kind of the role that religion and the church should play kind of in the world. And really where this comes from, a couple of years ago, Stacey and I went on a mission trip. We took Eli to Mexico. And when you go on mission trips, right, we went to just a phenomenal place. I mean, just beautiful and wonderful people, but it was really, really poor. And so, I took some photos, and at the time, our church, and they still are, kind of were going through about $11 million building project to just completely scrap a whole lot of things and fix a whole lot of things and make things better. And at one point, one of the last days, there was a picture, some kids had come, and there were about 30 of them in the back of this old Toyota pickup truck. And I took a picture of it. Because they were great kids, and I was waving and saying hi, and as they were leaving, or bye as they were leaving, and I took the picture and I tweeted it at my church, and said, I wonder how many meals or how many vehicles we could buy for $11 million. We also were driving around Mexico in an old like van, like conversion van, like 15-seater van. The back seat was taken out. There were more than 15 of us in it, including children and all those fun things. And so I tweeted that, right? Hey, with the picture of, hey, I wonder how many vans we could buy for $11 million. That, of course, got me sent to the principal's office, so I got called to the principal's office to go have a conversation about my beliefs in the church. And that's, I don't mean to say these things in terms of this is right or that's wrong, but that's kind of where we're coming from, is the church is designed, right? We're kind of Matthew 25 people, meaning, Jesus said, Lord, how do we, he was asked, Lord, how do we serve you? How did you know that we were taking care of you? When did we love you? When did we take care of you? And he says that when you serve the least of me, that's when you do it. Didn't say when you build buildings, or when you have nicer things, or whenever you give your money to the church so the pastor can go buy his Mercedes G-Wagon, or whatever it is, that's the way you love people. The way you serve people and the way you love Jesus is to take care of those who don't have the resources that you have, right? And so that's kind of where we've been kicking around. And what we've seen is there's a lot of people like us that kind of struggle for that we don't need the bigger building, right? It's fine the way it is. We just want to help more people, right? We'd much rather give our money to organizations that help rather than it's going to go to build a bigger building. And I think on some levels it's a little bit generational, and not that one generation is right or wrong or whatever, but when we were kind of going through, our pastor kind of came around and talked about, hey, what questions do you have? What can I answer? And we asked, like, how is our money going to help? And he said, well, it basically doesn't. And he told our class, and he said, basically, your money doesn't matter. There's about 20 people who are going to write a big enough check to where it does move the needle. And I suspect that those 20 people or 50 people or however many are the ones driving a lot of the, hey, we want a bigger, nice building, we want a bigger this than that. But I think there's a lot of people in the church, especially today, that would much rather see that money go towards help people, right? And not in a sense of, like, let's just give it away in meals and meals and meals, but let's invest in real programs, right? I talked about women in recovery, right? There are real programs out there that can have a real impact on people's lives. There's Street School that we support. It's a public school, but it's 50% private funding, and it's a phenomenal organization. They really help people kind of change, generational change. And so, again, this isn't a right or wrong thing, right? If we want to build bigger buildings, knock yourself out. But that's what Stacey and I kind of struggle with, is where do we put our money? Where does it go? And where would Jesus want it to go? Would he be happy with the cafe and the bigger building and all that kind of goes along with that? Or do you think he'd rather have us give it to people who are the least of us. So anyway, something to think about. Happy Good Friday. I hope you take a minute today and think about that. If you're a believer and you think about what today is, it's an important day. So hopefully take a minute, take a pause, think about what today means for you and your eternal life. So until tomorrow.